And I think you know where I'm going on this. This is the real aftermath of the steroid era. This is how the steroid era still affects us. Is that these milestones don't have the same magic anymore. And that's a crying shame. Because I'll never forget in fourth grade, sifting through my middle school library, going through the very limited sports biography section and finding a book about the 1974 home run race where Hank Aaron was trying to topple Babe Ruth, and sifting through that and devouring that and reading that in like 12 hours flat at home between 2 days, maybe less, and just completely being entranced by that number and by those home runs and by that era and by that time. Albert Pujols is going to hit 600 sometime this week, and that will put him in the company of Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., and Barry Bonds, and A-Rod, and Sammy Sosa, and Jim Thome. And so now that plateau doesn't mean what it once did, because it's not the plateau of legends anymore. It's not the plateau of immortals, because Sammy Sosa and Jim Thome and Alex Rodriguez and Barry Bonds are on that list, and they all are either non-immortals or steroid users. And so that is the aftermath, and that's where it will never go away. And that's the problem here, is that we can wait until the steroid guys are out of baseball, and we did. I mean, Barry Bonds is now gone, and so is Sammy Sosa, and Roger Clemens, and Alex Rodriguez finally retired, and so we have Manny Ramirez, all these steroid guys that finally pushed out, and we don't have to deal with them anymore on a day-to-day active basis, but we still have to deal with them in terms of what the clean guys are trying to accomplish. Now, look, Albert Pujols has been connected to steroids as well in terms of just simple, like, throwing spitballs against the wall. He's never been legitimately connected to it, never failed a test, never showed up on the Mitchell report, but people have speculated that how did that guy come from nothing and end up hitting that many home runs for that long. But that's the other part of this, is that because we were so tainted by steroids and PEDs and false records and false milestones, guys get that attached to them, number one. And number two, when they do achieve something that seems clean, it just doesn't hold what it used to. Could you imagine if the 600 home run club was still Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, and then Ken Griffey Jr.? Well, then Albert Pujols getting to 600 would really mean something. Or if Barry Bonds had gotten there but had done it cleanly. But instead, it just doesn't mean the same, because it says, yeah, well, Jim Thome's in that conversation as well. I mean, yeah, Sammy Sosa once did this. And so there's an and that's really the unfortunate aftermath of the steroid era.